We're back to the Neil Haley Show here on the Author's Corner segment, and I'm excited to welcome to the program Terry Wager and Christine McGinley, authors of Quit Taking Your Own Bad Advice. Well, I mean, that's the problem. A lot of times we do. So, guys, thanks for stopping by. And, it's so true, Terry. If we take our own advice, a lot of times we're not going to grow, we're not going to learn, and we're going to struggle all the time.
Right. Yeah. Growing up, my dad used to actually have all these different projects, and I'd be called out to the garage to help him out do these things. And I just thought he was a god and knew everything and just take care of all of these different projects. And I never saw him like ask anybody or talk to anybody. So I grew up thinking that we weren't supposed to ask for advice. We're just supposed to know this stuff. And as I grew up and started going to school and doing these things, I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid to do all of these things, and I couldn't figure things out. And I just thought I was stupid. And I had no idea that he had this group of Time Life books that had all the plans for everything he did. And he just hid them and right in plain sight on the bookshelf, but I had no idea. And so the funny thing is as I moved through my career as a psychologist, I started seeing that a lot of people have this tendency to not want to admit they don't know something and want to try to do it themselves, and they don't ask for help.
That's so true. And we just want to do it ourselves, and we'll do it. And then ultimately, I think at the end of the day, Christine, it's more not just we just want to do it ourselves. We want to be right. And if we're not right, then we feel like we're weak and we can't grow.
That's absolutely it. I think society teaches us that we need to be independent and free thinkers, and it's all up to us to move ourselves forward. And that if we ask for help and accept help and know that we don't have all the answers and the right answers, like you mentioned, then we're weak. That it's a sign of weakness that we can't protect ourselves and take care of ourselves moving forward.
All right, so let's kind of just jump into, Terry, why did you write the book?
Well, I really wrote the book because I saw more and more people that I work with have that stumbling block, and they procrastinate and they get distracted, and they just aren't moving forward with what they want. And they live in this settling for mentality. And they talk about and train mindset, and never go anywhere. It's spinning their wheels. And so I wrote the book to really help people understand that it's not mindset. And it's not that you're not able to learn. It's that you're listening to yourself instead of getting the help you need. And it starts with really identifying those emotions that you were just talking about that create that fear of weakness and that embarrassment over asking for help. And we really have to identify those emotions before we can start moving forward.
It's really the question. I think part of it is what's driving your thinking and your mindset. That to me, or not to me, to us, that is more of a conscious thing. So there's something unconscious that's really driving that. And it is what it is. It's the emotions.
So Terry, what do you guys do in the book to kind of help people without giving away the book, but giving some good pointers to why we should buy the book?
Well, right in the first chapter, I talk about the lie machine. And the lie machine is basically starts at our shoulders and goes up. It's our head. Just to,
yeah,
let a little secret go. We sit there and come up with all of these possibilities of what might happen. And they happen so fast. And as we listen to those, we don't move forward. And so in order to get that noise to quiet down, and in order to start moving forward, we really want to identify the emotions that start that lie machine going, because it's really the fears, it's the emotions, it's all of those things of what ifs. I call them the dreaded what ifs. And as we have those dreaded what ifs pop up, we start thinking about trying to cross bridges before we get to them. We think about trying to have conversations without the other person involved. And we do all of these things and we don't go anywhere. We think we did. I had a supervisor one time that talked about his dad would go on vacations just by talking about it. And then he'd spoil it every time he went on the vacation. And I think that we do that in life. We do that in business. We do that in life. We do that in relationships. Most of our problems all come back to the fact that we had the discussion or the conversation or the argument in our head before it ever happened.
So true. And I think, Christine, when we have that conversation, we make mistakes, right? So what should we do in that situation if we're already figuring out scenarios and telling ourselves it's going to not work out or it's going to work out before kind of making those really difficult decisions?
It really does come back to the making decisions and what's causing us to hesitate. And we call it the filters. It's identifying which filter are you pushing it through. Is it just a logical filter, or is it an emotional filter that's lying just right below the surface? That's all that we need to do. We don't need to dig deep, dig deep, dig deep like they do in some things. And it's just that a little bit of more awareness. And that's what we really cover in the book, is just giving a sneak peek of what other filtration system is out there besides our logical filtration system. And if we do that and we're willing to make a little bit of a mistake with the guidance of someone that's been there before, we're going to have more successes. If we think back to the successes that we've had, there's probably been somebody there to guide us down that track.
Exactly. And so you need a coach. Terry, I guess at the end of the day, you need to have a coach. You need to have mentors. You need to have different people. I've talked to some, really, really famous people that, they talk about the mentorship. They talk about specifically enough, from members of the Shark Tank to other people that say, bottom line is I had mentors. I had people that helped me through this. It wasn't, I just went ahead. So that's why it's so important to have somebody that's had more success than you, knows the groundwork to help you, lead you to where you want to be, right?
Yeah. One of the things that I think about is like a house with the lights off. You can't walk through it until you turn the lights on. The coach is like the person turning the lights on for you and helping you to understand which place to go and which chair to walk around, something to that effect. And the more that we have those people who have been there before walking through and step by step moving forward, the faster we go and the more we can start to understand how to do it ourselves. But if we don't have that teacher, we don't have that coach, or we don't have that joint venture partner. We use a lot of joint venture partners. If we don't have that partner that's really good at something that we're not good at, we're going to take a long time to do it.
Exactly. And we take that long time, we do what we need to do, and forget it, because you've been through the walk, right? Christine, you've gone through the walk in business before coaching, right? That's the important thing to bring up out of there. You've gone there, been there, done that, made the mistakes. Now hiring somebody else, you don't make those mistakes that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars, or a chance to really grow by having.
That's absolutely it. And I mean, we talk about you can grow your life in two different ways. You can choose a lifestyle and have all the time and freedom you want and make more money and delegate it all out. Or you can really bring in the corporate aspect and manage people. I mean, I like to manage people. I mean, I don't love to manage people. Let me get that straight. But managing people and bringing the strengths out of people, I think, is really important. And that's in building your team and trusting them. And I think we cover that a lot in the book too, is how to trust and vet the people that you do surround yourself with to create that better life for yourself and for others. It's really a movement that we're looking to create. And we talk about how people can join that movement in the book and make decisions faster to build their businesses and not make the costly mistakes by having a team surrounding you with their brilliance.
And lastly, Terry, listening to what you guys are talking about, what type of businesses would benefit from this book? Because I'm hearing Christine talk about a lot of management. There's so many different businesses out there. People start, they might subcontract a few people, or they might just be doing everything themselves. So Terry, who are the people that really you see would really benefit from this book?
Right. Small corporations that are looking to really build their revenue, build their teams out, have some kind of issue where they've plateaued and they're not exactly sure how to move forward. And so really what we see is a lot of times people in these corporations end up focused on the wrong things. And so when we come in and start helping them, they can move forward. So to answer your question, really, the kind of corporations are people that want to really break that $1 million mark that are smaller corporations, or the people who have made the 7-figure mark in their corporations. They're doing really well, but they can't seem to move forward from that. And so really just building.
See, and that's important because, again, you look at a lot of startups or smaller organizations that you call, that are corporations that really just don't know how to run their team. They might have had the funding from somebody, but yet when it comes to management, it comes to sales, it comes to operations, they just don't get it. And they really
Right.
don't have a plan. And
Right.
that's somebody like you guys, because
Yeah.
they fall flat on their face. They spend money, they don't reach their KPIs, they don't reach their goals and sales, and the company never grows. Right, Christine?
Yeah, the sales is a big component of it. And I mean, imagine having your team clone to the way that you think and are able to function, and using the filters that we talk about in the book is in an empowering position to put your whole team in. The more empowered they are and they're feeling fulfilled, the more your business is going to be fulfilled, yourself is going to be fulfilled, and everybody around you, your joint venture partners, your family, your cats, your dogs, your kids.
All right, so where's the best place we can find information on you guys and purchase your book? Where can we go?
You can go to generatorcoaching.com. That's our website. And generatorcoaching.com, this is really hard, generatorcoaching.com/books.
Okay. Well, it's not too difficult, and it's a great name. And again, you guys are defining yourselves in a different business coaching sense. You're really looking at corporations, and I'm telling you from my experiences, I see that is such a need, because there's many companies that get the funding, yet they don't know how to run it. And then they either fail or they just never grow. So that's why they need to call someone like you guys. So thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, take care. All right, you're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.